few things that I'd like to add to his great commentary on the situation. And I'm gonna do quite a few videos reacting to some of the things he said because Kwame Brown, man, ever since he was introduced, well, not introduced to me because I'm a sports guy, so I've been knew about it. But ever since he came into the YouTube stratosphere, was when that I think it was around 2020, 2021. When the situation with him and Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, they had a disagreement. He had a disagreement. They had a disagreement with him, and all kind of stuff, hit the fan. And I noticed something about him then, and he stayed to that model. And he's a quote unquote glitch in the system, right? Anytime you meet a black man who is against all of these liberal ideologies like homosexuality, transgender, um, being a thug, voting Democrat because you black. Anytime you go against any of those things, goes against Black Lives Matter, exposes them for the Black Lesbian Matter movement, and anytime you go against all of these liberal ideologies that's really pushed on the black community by the liberal white man and the liberal white woman, not the white man, not the white one, not the white man and the white woman, the liberal. I want to be clear what I'm saying. The liberal white man and the liberal white woman that Malcolm X warned us about 60 years ago. Anytime any of they ideology that they push on the black community, if you don't accept them as a black, you a glitch in the system because you looked at as a coon, you looked at as your Uncle Tom, and all these things. You a glitch in the system, and so Kwame Brown is a glitch in the system. He don't go with he don't look at stuff the way it should be. He look at it for what it is. And so a lot of things he speak about, bro. His channel, Kwame Brown Bus Life, is a national treasure. I'm talking about his channel is great for the black community. He's the type of pillows, he's the type of voices that we need in the black community. But that's just an introduction to what this video about because this is a video off his channel and I'm about to react to it. And it's about the white boy JJ Redick. Now, I don't know if you know JJ Redick. JJ Redick is an ex-basketball player. He was pretty decent, good role player. But today he's gonna be in my second volume of a series that I started called the Wigga White Boy Problem in the black community. I love all people. I love all people. I had a white dude, a white brother, a white man who was my friend until he took his own life a couple years ago. He's one of the people I dedicated this channel to. But there's a few things and there's a few people in this world that I despise, and there's a few people in this world that I have a very, 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 very deep repugnance for. And one of those people, or quote unquote groups, are liberal white people. Because they the liberal whites who, if you and I mean I'm pretty astute in judging them and seeing them. If you don't know a liberal white before they open their mouth, they lose it overweight, gay, weird, and when I say weird, they got all these different color hairs and all this type of stuff. These are the liberal whites. These are the liberal whites who at the Black Lives Matter movements and marches and rioting. They are part of that. They just want to be so cool with with black people, which is they don't care about black people. As a matter of fact, they hate black people. I remember when the situation happened with George Floyd, I had a lot of black people that I knew and black people that I'm connected to, and they were saying that if a white person was silent and all of that, they was racist. And I was saying to myself, I think that that's what they should do. They should be silent. They didn't have nothing to do with it. What they opening their mouth for is not their situation. You just want them to go on there and denounce their own people. Yeah, and if white people did that, if a white person talks about their own kind just to fit in with blacks, that's a person you don't want around you, black man or black woman. Because why is that? If they have no loyalty to somebody who got the same skin color as them, they definitely won't have no loyalty to you. It's all a facade. They going along to get along. But this is why the This is why the liberal white is dangerous. This is why the liberal rights, I despise them. And this is why liberal whites hate black people. Now, if you're not going to say nothing, and you're going to say, you know what, that's their thing that they got going on in their community, I'm going to stay out of it. I respect you as a white person. I respect that. I respect that. But once you begin to speak on things, when you don't have the full knowledge or quote unquote understanding, but I think they do have the understanding. But I think, like I said, that they like to ponder and push these type of ideologies on the black people and not make them be held accountable for some of the things that we need to fix in our community. Because why is that? Their grandfathers and fathers, or sometimes even them, are benefiting from these things. Once again, black man, black woman, you're not being held back by the white man, the J man, or no other man. No man is holding you back. But these people are coming into your community. They're coming into America, and the one that was already here, they are not holding you back. But guess what they are doing? They are capitalizing, creating generational wealth, community generational wealth, right? With their families and their cultures and their races off of you and your foolishness, because you want to be flashy, and you want to do all these things and look better than and compete with your fellow man, brother, or your fellow sister. They got the place to give you everything you need, whether it be designer clothing, jewelry, foreign cars. They gonna sell all that to you. So the longer you don't know who you are, and the longer you trying to keep up with the Jones to compete with your fellow black man or black woman, and the longer and reason why you do these things is because you don't have no love of self. You don't know who you are. And the longer you stay in that stupor, these other races are loving it. They're not holding you back, but what they is doing is capitalizing off your foolishness. But like I said, today's episode in my second volume, because my first volume was about the white boy 1090 Jake. You go on my channel, you can check out about him. But this is volume 2 of the Wigga White boy problem in black America and the black community. And it's so crazy to me how we just accept these dudes. They put some diamonds in their teeth, put some designer clothing on, and we just welcome in open arms in our community, in our culture. And it's not going to be the same way likewise. Because, and not only that, this is another one of my issues that I have with Wigga White people. They can come play black until they see it's not fun no more, and then they go back to being white. They go back, and the thing about that is, they can get all these tattoos all in their face and all that. Because why? They grandpa own the company. And if he don't own the company, he friends with the guy that do. So they'll always be able to have a route back to the white side. While you, black man, is stuck being black. Which is great, but because a lot of us don't know who we are, and a lot of us don't have no love for self in our community, we in the situation that we in. And this is why I speak to my blacks and tell them, listen, we have to get on that same train that everybody else on. I'm not saying that we should copycat of other people, but I don't care who it is or what they doing. If it's something that's positive and it's something that works, why not try it? You got a lot of blacks who have generational wealth for their families. And I always speak about this in my video because it's very important. You have a lot of black people who have generational wealth within their family. They did what they had to do, and now 3 or 4 generations going to be good. But this is where we talk about community generational wealth, because your 4th generation might fumble the bag that you set up for them 3-4 generations ago. And now they got to start all over. Because, see, that's the main issue with blacks today. We have that communist, socialist mindset that we want to be employees all the damn time. We want to play for the team. We don't want to own the company. We want to work for it. We want to go get 15 degrees to be and then we like to showcase this. I got all these degrees, and you got all these degrees, making all this money, going spend it with other communities once again to show off and flex on your own people. Instead of doing what you need to do, putting your ingredient in, because it can't be a one-man show. It got to be done collectively. Instead of putting your ingredient into the pie of creating community generational wealth. So therefore, Cause that's because in our community, that's all people really. That's why I know. That's why every generation got to start from scratch. Mama was a nurse. Daddy was a doctor. Daddy was a lawyer, and he didn't really have that many investment. And maybe he did, but that only could last so long. You can't pass a pension down. You can't pass working at a company for 40 years down to nobody. You just a worker, and when you die, you're gonna be replaced in 24 hours. But we in a position now where we have the finances as a community. I understand everybody not on the same level financially, but we have the finances as a community now to come together collectively, put ingredients of our own into the pie of creating community generational wealth. What is community generational wealth? This is something why we won't have to keep starting over every generation, because if we as a community set up community generational wealth, what we have the finances to do at this point, that means that, say for instance, I set up generational wealth for 4 generations down the line and the 4th generation mess up. But because I put my ingredient into the community generational wealth pie, although my 4th generation great grandson messed up the thing that I set in play for him 4 generations ago, he'll be able to go to one of these companies and his last name gonna ring bells with the owner of that company or somebody who in a high position of that company, because it's been black owned and operated for generations. And even though he messed up, he won't have to start from scratch going beg a white man for a job. He'll be able to go right back into a black owned and operated community. I mean, black owned and operated job within the black community, or with not just in the black community, in the world. We have to do this in the world. We have to be spending our money to buy up these corporations and create our own jewelers. If we want to buy jewelry, cool. Let's create our own jewelers. Let's create our own vehicles or dealerships. Let's create our own designer companies so we can continue to put the money back in the black community and it can circulate. That way, for future generations, when our children won't have to go put his head down and beg the white man for a job, he'll be able to go to a company that has black owned and operated, and they gonna automatically understand him, feel his plight, and give him a job without doing all the certain things that he have to go through with a white man job that don't understand him. That don't understand, okay, when he was 17, he made a mistake, and now he got this on his record for the rest of his life. Whereas a black company will understand, I got a cousin that made that same mistake and he changed, so I'm gonna give you an opportunity. You see what I'm saying? And this is why but we so busy trying to get the bag to compete with another black man. Oh, I'm a billionaire this year. All this competition within our community with each other. This is why every time we create something, they trying to buy us out, because they understand they understand community generational wealth, like the situation with Beats. Now, Dr. Dre and one of his friends, I think the dude, but I'm not going to speak on that situation. I think that was a white dude. Jimmy Iovine, I think, is white. I don't know. But they created it, and they automatically tried to buy his share in it. 50 Cent had vitamin water. They automatically tried to buy his share in it because these people understand what they doing. And the Pittsburgh Steelers is owned by the Rooney family. It's a big family, and they had one brother, and he tried to buy out all his siblings so he could continue to pay the team down just to his children. He offered each of them $800 million. They all declined because they understand that this $800 million might last me, might last our generation. We can invest it, but we gonna be out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We not gonna have a part of Pittsburgh Steelers stock no more. When we can stay in it, and over time, somebody with our last name gonna always be entitled to compensation from being a part of the Pittsburgh brand, being a part of the Pittsburgh stock. Right? They understand that, but we don't. So we'll build a company from the ground up, and then when we get to a certain amount of time, we build it so big, larger than life, that we started from scratch. We'll sell it to one of them, the Jew, the white man, and now we cut out of. We get a big old law. They'll give us that big old law lump sum. And don't get it twisted. We could go invest that and create another company and do other things, but majority of the time we don't. But what they do is they keep it in their family so they can make sure that generation, not just they family, but generations of people that look like them gonna always have an opportunity because they created it by buying that company. Money can always just passing down money can always get messed up. But when you have things invested, when you have corporations and companies, this is why people talk about the white man. The white man. The white man came here with a plan. He executed his plan and it's still working for him today. I don't blame the white man. The white man is not holding black people back. I know this, right? They came here with a plan and it worked. And not only was it a plan, it's a plan that's still working for them. Right now, the white man, he no matter how much money he make, no matter what he'll buy him a few nice things, but for the most part, only thing he worried about is making sure the people that come after him with the same last name as him, also people that look like him, gonna have an opportunity, and that's what his job was to society. Not to go buy 50 cars, 40,000 chains, diamond. That's not his thing. The white man and all these other people, they thing is to make sure people who look like them, they family first, and everybody else that look like them come second. But they want to make opportunity. And they want to add they add their ingredient in that pie to continue to bake community generational wealth for their society. Whereas in our community, we just competing with each other. That's all we doing. We buying stuff from people that we so called don't like, who don't like us for the most part, not always, but most part. These people moving our hoods, these Chinese, these Arabs, they don't like black people. They don't like black people because the thing that they hear about black people and the experience that they go through dealing with black people. But they not leaving out the hood. You know why? Because they know that's where the money at. They know no matter how broke we is as a community, we want to have our nail done. We want to have our hair done. We want to have jewelry. We want to have designer clothing. We want to ride foreign. Don't matter how broke we is, we want those things are essential and necessities to the black community. That's why we the flyest, brokest world travelers in the world. We always on somebody in somebody else's country just to look at stuff, but it's really just to post on social media to compare ourselves to everybody else, to keep up with the Jones, because that's what everybody in the community and blacks doing, not traveling, and to post on our social media all the places we've been to show off our passports. That's really what it's all about. Or there's some people who go travel to see other cultures for whatever reason they do that for, because, I mean, to me, that just doesn't make any sense. You may say, oh, you small, man, that's why you don't want... I'm not interested in no other culture but American culture because I'm American. Now, if you planning on moving to another country, I mean, I would think you want to go see it and get in tune with the culture. But you just going there to look at stuff that doesn't make sense to me. I'm saying to me, that's just something that I don't see no fit for. At one particular time, I did want to go to Israel for obvious reasons. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see the streets of the Bible, but they got all kind of stuff going on in them country where they persecute Christians and all that. And I just don't see myself putting myself in, because that's another thing. You go to these other countries, and most people, they don't do the research in these countries. They just want to go get, like I say, post something on social media for likes. That's what it's really all about today, especially in the black community. Bruh, social media, bruh, and I'm not even going to get off into that rabbit hole. I'll speak about that in another video. But social media gave the wrong people an opportunity to be seen. And it gave some people the opportunity to show off and flex. And like I say, we in our community, all we want to do is flex on each other. That's all it's about. We want to make ourselves feel like we doing better than the next person that look like us instead of doing like everybody else and trying to lift our people up. Now, I know y'all, they have the same issues in other communities where they compete with each other, they hating on each other, but it's a minority. In our community, it's the majority. Before anybody say, well, I know white people, because I've seen it too. Right? But I kind of went off and kind of got off the subject, but I wanted to speak about this moron, JJ Redick. JJ Redick is the type of white boy who will try to out nigga you. He'll try to tell you about rap songs and tell you about this. He is the white boy and he been around black for so long from college at Duke. He's one of those white boys, and that's another thing about the white liberal. They worship the black man because they understand who the black man is, and they so amazed at him. And what really amazes them, they not gonna say this, that he don't know who he is, but they do. And they want to be him so bad. So what they do is they ponder to him, they worship him, and they don't tell him what his issues is. And when he do make mistakes, they don't tell him. They tell him it's a white man. It's somebody else. They don't hold a black man accountable because they too fanboyed out at the black man. No matter who he is, he don't even have to be famous. Just being black. This is why you see white liberal go adopt black children, because they just so and they just so blown away by the black man, by the black woman. They just can't. It's just, to them, it's like this is it's this special god-like specimen that they know they can never be. And so they feel like by pondering and worshiping the black man or the black woman, they can somehow be accepted to the point of what, and they do, because like I say, black people, especially liberal black, they accept anything, any and everything. They have no standards and or morals, right? And they got an issue that they got to deal with. But my thing is this: JJ Redick is the type of white boy who will marry a black woman. White boy, when you listen, anytime you see, and I'm not gonna speak on the black woman right now, but anytime you see a white boy with a black woman, that tells you everything you need to know about him. Anytime you see a white boy who say the N word, that says everything about him. You know, my white partner, like I said, I was friend with this white dude for 13 years. He didn't like black women on that type of level. He would mess with them from time to time, because of course that's what I mess with. And you know, we might do the little, I'm going to a female house and he with me. So he would mess with them on, you know, just on a sex level. Before there's anything serious, that wasn't his thing. I never heard him say the N word. I was friend with him for over 20 years. Well, he passed away, so close to 20 years. Right? Never said the N word. White boys, white men, they don't use the N word. No matter how many black people they hang around. Not because they can't, but because they know where that word comes from. And it's just like, why would I want to use that word? Why would I want to use that? Only wigger white boys use that word. Same thing with dating black women. White boys, it's not that they racist or nothing like that. They like they bloodline to stay pure and not diluted by dating a woman of another race. But these white wigger white boys, they just want to date the black woman because for one, it makes them feel like they a black man. For one, for two, they get to that's kind of like a stamp on a card to one step to being close. That's kind of like a stamp on a card of one step closer to being black. I got to date a black woman. I get to go around the black guys, and I got a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Just lame L7. Like, I really have a deep repugnance for these Wigga White boys. And so I'm gonna let Kwame Brown speak about some of the things he about to speak in, and of course I'm gonna chime in.
Oh, this shit said 11:20 p.m. I'll just have to change the time. But I'm already live now. I'll change the time to a.m. I don't know why it's saying I messed up. I was driving. Good morning, good morning. If you're coming in, the live is saying 11:20 p.m. Maybe I should have pulled over and did the old setup. But if you're on this live, go ahead and let people know that I'm live right now and not 11:20 p.m. But I'm gonna get right to it. JJ Redick, you should have stayed out of this. That little woke political BS that you brought into this situation, at ESPN, y'all ought to be ashamed of y'all damn self. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. Trying to make this a black and white thing. You already done put up the little white player for the Clippers, Chris Kaman. We all know Chris Kaman is a hunter. John Morant is listening to music that's saying they're going to slide on niggas and shoot black people. Is that the same as a man wanting to hunt a deer? Is that the same as a man wanting to hunt a wild boar? So that fake.
And just for the record, just to be clear, this is referring to the rant that JJ Redick went on in defense of Ja Morant. And I'm not gonna say nothing else about the Ja Morant situation. God bless the brother. He's a great player. Um, but I made a 3-part series on the whole Ja Morant situation. So go check that out on my channel. And I pretty much spoke about that. But I'm saying this was him referring to I should have played it. I really should have played it. But this was him referring to the Ja Morant situation. He said that America has a mass shooting problem that no one talks about. Um, that politicians post pictures of them with assault rifles, which he was referring to Lauren Boebert, who is a pro Second Amendment congresswoman, and she made a post in her living room in front of her Christmas tree with her husband, and her children holding assault rifles up, which were legal guns. And I know John Morant's was too, but I'm making a point here. And Kwame is gonna really make my point even better. But he said that we don't talk about them. The reason why we doing this to Ja Morant because he black. Now that's a white boy saying this, mind you. He's saying the reason why this being done to Ja Morant because he black. Why are we being so hard on him because he made a mistake, and we don't be hard on our politicians that post guns and support the Second Amendment, which is the reason why we have all these mass shootings and all that quote unquote woke liberal ideology propaganda. And so I just wanted to put it out there, and that's the you can go check, you can go look it up. JJ Redick, Ja Morant, rant anywhere on YouTube, anywhere, but that's what he referring to. Just wanted to put that in.
Woke political crap that J.J. Redick just pulled was disgusting. And yeah, J.J. Redick, there is mass shootings going on in America. And it's part to do with this bull crap that your weak political fake hacks like yourself that use situations like this, and that y'all don't teach these kids nothing in school but about their damn feelings. So that's why everybody is moving so emotional. But let me explain something to you, Mr. J.J. Redick, with your dumbass take. Just because it don't meet the criteria of a mass shooting, let me explain to you what goes on in the hood. See, we got young little black boys that got guns that they don't really know how to shoot. So when they come through and they try to create a mass shooting, when they spray up the entire block, see, sometimes they don't hit but 1 or 2 people or 3 people. So 2 people don't meet your qualifications.
A mass shooting goes on every day in the inner cities of black America. Mass shootings, mass killings goes on through every in New Orleans, Miami, Atlanta, Chicago, LA, Washington D.C., New York, St. Louis, Memphis, Tennessee. I can go on and on and on. Every day is mass shootings going on in the inner cities, but it don't fit the narrative. It's not done by a white man, so they can't use that as no type of political. They can't use that as a political prop because that will go against their narrative. This is why I have a deep repugnance, and this is why I despise these quote unquote black leaders, these quote unquote liberal black pastors, these quote unquote Jesse Jacksons, Al Sharptons, these Democratic talking heads, because that's all they is, that so-called care about the white black community, but they don't. They don't speak on none of these issues. They don't say nothing about them. You don't see Ben Crump. You don't see nobody there when they have a little sex. And he gonna mention this in his commentary. But every day in the hood is a little kid that was in the house playing his PlayStation or playing his Xbox or playing his pad tablet, and a bullet flying because he was in the wrong. He just so happened to be in a low budget neighborhood in the city, and these clowns outside spraying with these Dracos and all these big old guns that they don't know nothing about. They just look cool, and they seen them on Call of Duty, and they shooting these guns, don't know how to shoot them, don't, and just being wild and reckless, and they don't hit the person that they shoot. Sometimes they do, and the bullet fly into somebody's house and it hit the little child. You don't never hear these people say nothing about that, including the white liberals. They keep their mouth shut. So keep your mouth shut, mind. And that's another thing that bothers me so much about these white liberals. They got to a point where the black man and the black woman can't even protest their own issues. They all out at the protest. As if they treat the black man and the black woman like some children. And that's what, and I really, bro, I'm telling you, I really don't like them, bro. Right? That's what they do. We can handle our own business. They all at the protest. Like, what are you doing? This has nothing to do with you. And now this is what they doing, like Joy Behar. And I might have to do a reaction to that. She's on The View telling black people about how they should feel and like, what? What? What are you doing? What are you talking about? Mind your business. Stay in your lane. It's issues in the white community that you can be focused on. But trying to focus on issues in the black community is not going to do anybody no good. Because nobody black listening to you, and the black people that's listening and accepting what you're doing and what you're saying, they are a part of the liberal blacks who have a judgment, if they don't be, who is going to be reformed or be removed. I'm going to say that for a lack of words. They going to be reformed or be removed as well, because they going to be dead weight. Right? All this white man getting caught up with all these liberal ideologies. And when I say liberal, I'm not talking about no politics. I'm talking about lifestyles and mindsets and beliefs in certain things that go against God. Listen, man, you got to turn back to God and the Most High, black man. So the black woman can follow behind you. Because right now, bro, she's out of control. In most situations, not all. And like I say, this is not a channel where we doing gender war. This is not a channel where we bashing the black women. We are not doing that. But what we need to do is we have to rectify the truth, understanding there's a problem, and be solution-based and solutions-oriented. And the black man and the black woman, for the most part, is out of control because they don't know who they are. But the black man is in control of that. He have to turn, because he is the head. He have to turn back to God, follow his laws and commandments, and God gonna put him in position where he needs to be, and then his woman gonna automatically be drawn spiritually back to him. Right? And then a whole bunch of foolishness in our community gonna be erased. Of course, they're gonna still be degenerate, and they're gonna be exterminated either by themselves or by the powers or by divine or by the Most High. I'm gonna just say that. Right? And so, these white liberals, so yeah, speaking on that situation, it's mass shootings every day in the hood that nobody talk about because it doesn't fit a narrative, and they can't use that for political power and wealth.
Of a mass shooting. But guess what, JJ Redick, little white boy? Sometimes a 7-year-old girl gets shot. Sometimes an innocent 7-year-old baby gets shot, JJ Redick. It's happened in Atlanta several times. It happens all across this country, JJ Redick, with your little bullshit political takes, while we talking about something that affects our community. This gun violence and these young men that listen to these rappers and get fueled up with this stupid liquor-filled death music rage, and they go out and kill black folks. So you should have stayed out of this shit, JJ Redick. What the fuck, you trying to get a raise or something? You must be trying to get a...
No, what he got a plan on doing is being a coach. That's what he got a plan on. And he know that the NBA is majority blacks, and he going to be coaching a lot of blacks. And J.J. Redick always had this problem. Like I say, he come from Duke. He went to, in the NBA, he always had this problem. From his haircut, just his whole persona about him says Wigga White boy. Everything about J.J. Redick says Wigga White boy, just looking at him. You can look at him and see who he want to be when he talk. You can see who he hang around and what he trying to be. He's not himself. This is an individual who is having identity crisis at his age. Great basketball career. I'm sure he got some good investments. He did the right thing. I know some things he's off into, and he's still having identity crisis because he is so just blew away by the black man, and he want to be him, right? You know what I'm saying? And so, he does what the white liberal do.
Job, so you trying to look down with the blacks? No, man, it's cool that John Morant pulled out a gun. What? When in the hell have you ever seen Larry Bird pull out a gun, JJ Redick? When the hell have you ever seen your dumb ass pull out a gun? You know damn well you would never behave like this. So we don't want to hear all that. Oh, I said I didn't agree, and yes, I agree. No. This is bigger than that shit. When you got a 200 and $31 million man acting like a goddamn street corner thug, there's something wrong here. And for you to try to downplay that, you're a fucking idiot. You are a fucking idiot, because you know damn well to be an NBA player, you have to have a level of standards. You have to have a behavior. You have to be a student athlete. And you have to have a certain set of behavior and a certain skill set to make it to where we made it. And you want to sit here and try to confuse people talking about what? He didn't do anything illegal. You dumb fuck. You was in the NBA. Conduct detrimental to the team. You was on the team with a guy in Gilbert Arenas who did things conduct detrimental to a team. You also know business, Mr. JJ fucking Reddick. You know damn well the NBA is a private company that can do whatever the fuck they want with their business. And what he did was conduct detrimental to the team, which can give back a lot of fucking money, and the things that he's doing can perpetuate a cycle of violence in our community. And see, JJ Reddick, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. That's why you should have been quiet, because that's why Big U want to talk to him. Yeah, I heard he got invited out. It's an invite now, but he better go goddamn get a plane ticket to California. See, you don't know shit about black culture. You just want to be the down white boy. You get you a couple tattoos. You probably talk black. You probably listen to rap songs in the locker room. And then you carry your ass to the golf course and eat scones and goddamn croquettes and all kind of other bullshit just like every other goddamn white person. You probably be saying nigga too on the side, ain't you? Just because you shot a basketball with niggas don't mean you know shit about us niggas. So you should have mind your goddamn business. How come I ain't hear you say nothing about Dana White slapping his wife? JJ Reddick. Shouldn't you white boys have some consequences and some level of standards in your behavior? How come I didn't hear you mention a motherfucking thing about Dana White and how he slapped down his wife? Oh, I forgot. You white boys still want to be the most powerful thing in the world, so you make sure your women mind, don't you? Yeah. It's okay that y'all slap y'all women down in public, ain't it? Yeah, a black man gotta run. Tank Davis, a nigga that can knock people out with either hand, he gotta go run and hide and let a woman tear up his whole goddamn house. Because an allegation destroys a black man, and on camera what a white man don't do shit, but mum's the word. So JJ Reddick, shut the hell up when it comes to our community. Let us deal with John Morant and the dumb shit that he doing. Cause you little white liberal motherfuckers don't know shit about all this, Y'all kids are the ones shooting up the goddamn school, so it's mighty funny how you talking about mass shooting. Sorry, son, bitch, you. That man should have never had no goddamn gun around him, and it ain't the first goddamn instant. You gonna show white folks around a damn Christmas tree with guns, and then John Morant in the damn club with guns. Which one is more dangerous, JJ Reddick? I don't give a damn what somebody do in their own home. Hell, if that's what you're going to do in your house, that's what you do in your house. It's the privacy of your own home. You're just sharing the picture with us. But this motherfucker is out in the public, in the club, with a gun, with alcohol. Now, if you know anything about gun safety, that's a no-no. Brandishing a weapon, pulling it out, that is illegal, John Morant. That is illegal, JJ Reddick. You don't just pull out your firearm for no goddamn reason. You pull out your firearm when you're trying to defend a citizen or defend your own life. And that's it. That's all. In the fucking story. All this menacing with a weapon and all this dumbass shit, that's what gotta stop. That's why it's so much violence. JJ Reddick and ESPN, y'all ought to be ashamed of y'all damn self. That's all y'all want to do is push some political bullshit. JJ Reddick, why you ain't talking about these grown-ass people going to the schools dancing in front of these goddamn children? Because I know your kids ain't at no school that grown people is taking their clothes off and dancing in front of these kids.
They not going to talk about none of that. They not going to talk about none of that. Because once again, none of these people care, bro. They don't care about none of the stuff that they so claim to care about. They do these stupid, wild, woke political takes because one, they go along, get along. Two, they don't have no backbone to stand up for nothing. That's why they hate Trump. and they just go along to get along. And then the stuff hit, but they gonna make sure, at all costs that it don't hit their front doorstep if they got control over it. But a lot of times judgment hits their front door because they was playing with all these evil ideologies and things and trying to push them on other people and then backdoored on them. This is why you hear all kind of stuff going on in their house, suicide, all kind of stuff. I'm not gonna get off into it. I'm not gonna justify it. I'm not saying nothing about it. But they bring this on themselves because they push all this stuff on your children and your community, and majority of the time at the black community. Because like I always say, the black community is the number one receptors of propaganda and BS. Because majority of them is ran by women, and women don't understand certain things like a man do. Women not able to dissect and explain to the children certain things, why they wrong, why they not wrong, why they right, why they not right, and things of that nature. And so the children have to learn from people like JJ Redick, these rappers, these quote unquote SJW social justice warriors, and these days TikTok. And like I say, the man is not there in most black homes to teach the children. So they the number one receptors of BS. And women are two-dimensional thinkers. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Not all, but most. No matter what race they are, women are just two-dimensional thinkers. And majority of the time they make all their decisions, majority, off the way they feel. They emotional people, and that's what God put them in. That is their strength. They supposed to be like that. A woman not supposed to be masculine, but that's why God put a man. That's why God made it the way a woman and a man have to come together to make a child. But in our community, most of these is broken homes. 70% of our children are being raised by a woman with no father in the home. So this is why we are the greatest receptors of this BS. But of course not JJ. I mean, of course not Kwame. Of course they not gonna talk about the thing that's really hurting America, really hurting Black America. They not, because they know, just like the black leader. This is why I really, really despise them more than anybody. Because as black leader, they the ones who supposed, the black preachers, the black members of the Democratic Party, and the Barack Obama, all people. They the ones who supposed to be telling blacks that they need to stop killing each other, aborting their babies. Man, black women lead the nation in abortion. A whole generation been killed in the womb. They the one that need to tell black people, forget about police brutality. When the police pull you over, comply. They the ones who should be telling black people to keep their families together and drop this 70% of fatherless home down to 0% or lower than 70. That's over half. That is outrageous, right? They the ones who do it, but they don't, because guess what? If they do that and black people catch on to it and begin to say, you know what, we right, we need to keep our families together, because keeping our families together is going to alleviate a whole bunch of other stuff. Then guess what? They lose political power and wealth. You don't need them as a leader no more, because now you doing things the right way, and all you need is one leader, the Most High God. That's all you need is God. But these people come and tell you, man, it's the white man, the white man, the white man. And because whatever going on in your life, you adapt to that and believe, yeah, it is the white man, which is ain't no white man holding you back. And I heard a brother say something today, man, that was so important. I might make a video of it. He said black people the same people who always hollering by God this and God that, but yet they say what the white man holding them back from doing. How can you say God is this and God is that, but you giving a man flesh of the same, that got flesh and blood just like you, the power to say he holding you back, but you support God, but you believe in God? No, white supremacy is your God. The white man is your God, because you saying he can hold you back, but you'll be in church Sunday saying, thank you, Jesus, Lord this, Lord that. You don't believe in God, man. That's why I say most people that most of these if I hear a Negro talking about the white man can hold them back, I'm automatically believe he not a Christian. And if he say he a Christian, I'm gonna tell him you're a lie. How are you a Christian but you talking about the white man holding you back? Can't nobody hold you back if you God's son or God's daughter. If you believe in God, can't nothing or nobody hold you back but God, right? But that's another story that's another video for another day. I just wanted to say that about that, because of course, JJ, of course, Kwame, JJ is not. He better not say nothing about no drag shows at schools. where adults go and take their clothes off and strip in front of children. He better not say nothing about black on black crime. He better not. He better not. He better not.
See, it's funny what you want for our people, because it's damn sure not what you want for yours.
Exactly. Exactly. White liberal
And I'd love
101.
to have a conversation with any of you. JJ Reddick, just like I told Gil ass up. I'd love to have a conversation with any of you about this. Because this is just my lane. Now, I'm going to go, JJ Reddick. And when you hear this, if you care to reply, I would love to. Yeah, bring one.
Well, of course they're not going to respond. And you know why they're not going to respond? The same reason most liberal Democrats don't ever want to respond. And they'll dress it up and say, I'm not going to argue. Or J.J. Reddick, he might say, I'm not about to go on no YouTube. I'm getting paid millions of dollars to be on ESPN. Why would I go on YouTube and argue with a quote-unquote bus, right? That's what he'll do, because he know that everything Kwame Brown is saying is facts, and he gonna tear him up alive. Same thing with me and anybody else that's a conservative, or anybody else that and when I say conservative, I'm not talking about political. I'm talking about, I believe in God. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in the Second Amendment, the First Amendment. I believe in the whole Constitution, but I believe in God first, and I believe in America. I love America. I'm blessed to be here, right? That's what I mean by conservative. I'm not talking about no political thing. And I don't believe in all these ideologies. I believe in these two genders. That's what I believe. And that's what I know. I believe in with God. I believe in the Constitution second, the Bible first. The Bible is the first Constitution that I believe in. Just so we clear what I mean by conservative. But anyways, and I don't believe gay people should be able to marry, and I don't believe they should be able to adopt. Let me add that in too, right? But yeah, that's liberal white 41. That's liberal white 101. To push on the black community is something that they wouldn't push on their own community. That's what they do. Tell a black woman, hey, you don't need your black man, but guess what? They keeping their families together. You see what I'm saying? And so, like I said, of course, Kwame Brown, he is not going to debate you. Shout out to Gilbert Arenas for debating you, and he always get his behind toe up, right? But he not going. This dude is not going to debate you. Have a sit down, and like I say, he gonna cover it up by saying, I'm not gonna go down to a lower level, which is YouTube, when I'm getting paid millions of dollars on ESPN. Which he probably wouldn't say in those exact words, but he'll say something like, "Oh, Kwame Brown, you a bust. I'm not gonna argue with you." But that's what they always say, because they don't have facts to back up facts. Because everything Kwame Brown's saying, and the people that I've seen that's conservative, that deal with liberals, everything that they saying are facts. Whereas the liberals, they go off either emotions, feelings, or just pondering to a certain group of people. So of course he's not gonna come talk to you about it. He's not even gonna say nothing about it, because he know he heard this, and he know he got on. He have no rebuttal.
Start bringing some of y'all ESPN pundits and all y'all people that hold this fake hierarchy like you're better than everybody. Start bringing y'all ass down to YouTube. Start coming to different spaces and let us test y'all mind. Let us test what you really got, what you really think. I guarantee you probably get fired, though. You motherfuckers can't do or say what you want. Y'all some script reading motherfuckers. So whoever gave you that script, JJ Reddick, you tell them I said fuck them. And if it was your idea to come up with that dumb shit, then fuck you too. Talking about mass shooters. It's a damn mass shooting every other day in some of our worst neighborhoods. You probably don't get the newspaper because they don't talk about little black babies when they die. They only want to talk about it when one of you white boys kill them.
Talk to them.
We killing each other on a nightly goddamn basis because of this type of behavior, and the only thing you want to point out is mass shootings.
Daily.
Well, last night, a couple black men died across America, JJ Reddick.
All day, every day.
Gun violence.
All day, every day.
Senseless gun violence.
All day,
Not even
every day.
protecting themselves. Senseless gun violence, JJ Reddick. So that's why we don't like the behavior of some black athlete that's rich, that's looking like a thug menacing with a gun. You let us black men handle that, JJ Reddick. You stay your motherfucking ass. You got Dana White issues. You got Ben Roethlisberger's issue. Well, actually, none of it is an issue at all because they don't check the white boy like they check the black boy. Jonathan Majors is canceled over the allegation. Dana White hosted a slap league a day or 2 days later from slapping his wife. So yeah, you white boys are still thriving. Y'all keep running the world, but you stay the fuck out of this goddamn John Moret shit, JJ Reddick. and I'm gone.